You know what's really, really, really fucking cool? Right off the bat, I'm cursing. It's okay. I'm passionate about this. What's really cool is that there's enough abundance, alignment, energy, manifestation power, wealth, vitality, health, love, friendship, airplanes. There's enough of all of that for everyone on this planet. Today's episode is sponsored by my Create Your Life on Purpose program, a program to connect you to your calling and help you live your life on purpose. Not with why you think you're here or with why your parents told you were here, but like, what is the calling of your soul and how can you manifest that into your life every single day? It's on my website, manifestwithash.com, and it is half price right now. Enjoy today's episode. Welcome to the Badass Manifester podcast, keeping you inspired with high vibe content, bringing you the best manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, interviews, and answering questions to help empower you to get out of your own way and take massive action to make magic your everyday normal. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, spiritual life and manifestation coach, helping women and spiritual entrepreneurs manifest more impact, influence, and income. It is my purpose and pleasure to help you wake up to the badass creator that you are. Let's do this. That is what I've been really thinking about lately is like, you look at people that have more than you have and you compare yourself, right? I do it, you do it, we all do it, kumbaya, right? And at the same time, I'm realizing more and more there is absolutely no difference whatsoever between you and them. You're the same energy, and there are more leaders emerging in this space of personal development, health, wellness than I've ever seen before. And it's freaking awesome because the world is shifting and awakening. And awakening is actually trending right now. Manifestation is trending right now because we're waking up, because we're like, oh, shoot, we've got this power, right? If you haven't noticed, it's happening. People are connecting to their purpose and full on living in their purpose and creating amazingly abundant businesses and lives and impact. And you know what's crazy too is like, I have a friend, one of my best friends, and she wants to shift her career. And she's like, yeah, but everything's saturated. So it's like she cuts herself off of that possibility. I think I've mentioned that before. But the market for coaching is saturated. But guess what? So is every market on the planet. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a realtor, if you're a teacher, if you are a coach, if you are a lawyer, real estate agent. It's all saturated. We're all a dime a dozen, right? But here's the cool part is that there's a place for you because no one is you. And that's what makes you so special is your own unique perspective, your own experience, what you've been through, what you've learned from. And I know that if you pursue what you want and you let go of all the limitations that are in the way of it, you will be crazy successful. Ever ask yourself, like you see someone online and you're like, how is she doing it? How is she attracting all of the abundance? How is she attracting all the clients? How is she going on all the vacations and doing all the things? And that's the beautiful thing about the universe, you guys. It is so crazy abundant that it will give you and the thousands of people in the same industry as you equal amounts of prosperity and wealth because the universe is endlessly abundant. Whew. And that is the truth. Does that feel good to hear? If you're like, yeah, that feels good, that's because it's true. And then when you think about comparison or judgment or jealousy, that feels bad. And you know why? Because it's not true. It's not true to your core. It's not true to your soul. And your emotions are telling you that. Your emotions are letting you know. So when you see someone having what you wish to have and you feel stuck in comparison, the way that I have learned to shift out of it is, number one, by observing. Observing what's coming up for me. And then number two, I tell myself, if it is possible for them, it is so possible for me. Say it with me. If it's possible for them, it is possible for me. Because we're all made of the same fabric of creation. There's no difference between you and someone you see on IG living their best life. I'm living my best life. The difference is all in what you believe to be possible. It's what you believe is possible for you, what you think you are and what you think you aren't. Those are things that you think about yourself. And I went to my network chiropractor, Dr. Teresa, who I share about a lot, and I was going through something, going through the work with myself, and I mentioned something about, like, I said something and it was a limitation. I said something that was limiting me, and she heard it. And she said, you know that's just a thought, right? What you just said, it's just a thought. Your limitation is just a thought. That's it. That really hit me. I was like, oh my God, it's just a thought. It's not true. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define you. The abundance flows to those who believe that they are worthy, to those that believe that they're good enough and they take action to match their intentions. It's really simple. We just make it really freaking complicated. That's literally it. It doesn't matter what you were born into. We all have the same creative ability to align with and attract what we desire. And so I want to offer you comparison because it can be a manifestation tool for you to vibe with the energy you want instead of feel jealous of it. Like, say yes to it rather than feeling like you aren't where you want to be, because it's all a choice. And depending on what you choose, it sends out energy. And that energy in turn creates your reality. Because the universe is always saying yes. You look at someone, you're like, man, I'm not there. The universe goes, yes. You're like, man, I wish I could be where she is. Yes. Ugh, I'll never get there. Yes. What if I don't get there? Yes. You know? And it's not just around this topic. It's around anything. The universe is always saying yes. So when you feel stuck in comparison, instead of letting it bring you down and stop you from taking action, ask yourself this. When you see the image on Instagram or when you see the people in your life that you're comparing yourself to, ask yourself this question. It will set you free. What inspires me about this? What inspires me about this person or this person's life, or what inspires me about their money, or what inspires me about their energy? Let it inspire you. Not consume you, not control you, but truly inspire you. I hope that with all of my heart and soul that resonates with you. And my wish for you is to step out fearlessly. Step out courageously. Reach out to the people that you've been meaning to reach out to. My wish for you is that you live more fearlessly than you did yesterday. That you take the action that you didn't take yesterday. That you trust in life enough to know that you really cannot fail. You really cannot. That if you fall, it's meant for you to fall, to get back up, to share about your experience and tell your story with the world, because that's what inspires people. So go out there, do your thing. Let me know when you do it, because I want to know. I want to know what you did to step out and take messy, massive action, because there's no such thing as perfect action. And on the topic of perfection, I should share with you that my greatest disappointments have always come from falling short in my own mind. So it's like that perfectionist in me is always disappointed in herself. And I'm sorry, but if you're striving for perfection in your life, you will always fall short. I know this firsthand. And yes, I'm a teacher, and more than anything, I'm a student first. A student first. Even as a coach and a pretty happy, optimistic person, I'm still endlessly learning. And the truth is like, if you are a leader, which all of you are, right? You can still be resistant to life. You can still be hypocritical. You can still be stressed out. You can still be anxious and sad. You know why? Because you're a mother-loving human. You are a human. And so when people look to me and they're like, oh, you're so perfect, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, I'm a human. I have off days. I feel like shit sometimes. I'm anxious. I'm a hypocrite. I'm stressed out. I just have a lot of tools. And I look at all of those situations and circumstances as learning experiences and growth, right? And if you're listening to this, if you're a coach or if you're a leader or if you own a business or you're a starving perfectionist, I want to challenge you to embrace your flaws. I want to challenge you to feel your defeats, extract the learning. And here's the thing. If you can extract the learning and muster up the courage to share your lessons with the world, do it. That's what connects people. The world doesn't get anywhere when you try to be perfect all the time or you know everything. People don't connect to perfection. It's boring. And I don't care who you are. I don't care like how much money you have or what you do in the world. You have off days. So let's just all stop pretending that we don't have off days. It's exhausting. I legit used to do that. And I can relate it to yoga because I used to want and think I had to have the perfect yoga practice, whatever the F that means. And over years, I learned to let myself fall down in a yoga class. Something so simple, yet so powerful, not only for you, but everyone else to see because everyone else is comparing themselves, right? Like we were talking about in the beginning of this episode. But the true source of inspiration comes from the person that falls down in the yoga class, right? It's a metaphor. Then gets up and even beyond yoga shares about your experience, right? Like fall down, get up, share about it. That's what makes a difference in the world. Being vulnerable and real. That's what's inspiring. And I tell this to my girls that are in my Show Up Like a Boss group coaching program. They're crushing it right now and they're learning to craft and tell their story. So when you're in my group coaching programs, we create a pod. So we have an Instagram pod where we support each other on your posts and we, boost up the algorithm to, comment on each other's posts authentically. And the girls are writing posts that are from their heart, that are from their lessons, that are from their growth. And that's what's getting people interested in their business. Not a post that looks like their perfect hair or their perfect whatever, And here's the thing. This is like the thing. And I said it before, being vulnerable and real is inspiring as fuck. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. And yet, we're all terrified to share who we are for fear that we won't be seen, that we won't be heard, that we won't be loved, that we won't be accepted. This is like the paradox, right? It's like we want this so bad, but we're so afraid that we won't get it. And I think that that's the difference between people that are building big businesses and people that are not, because they're not putting themselves out there because they're not perfect. What does that even mean? Because what you know is different from what I know. And that's why we all need each other to share, right? Like if I wasn't brave enough to share on my podcast, on my Instagram, in my Facebook group, and you weren't vulnerable enough to share, we wouldn't be learning from each other. Why do you think there's so many podcasts out there? So perfection in the past has locked me out of growth and God. And being authentic has opened more doors of abundance than I could ever share with you in one episode. I'm going to end this podcast episode the same way. Go ahead, go out there in the world and mess it up. Take your perfect pony down. It is safe for you to be human. Say that with me. It is safe for me to be human to the fullest. We're not perfect. We're human. We're perfectly imperfect. Amen to that. Thank you so much for listening to the Badass Manifester podcast. I love manifesting Mondays with you, and there's so much more in store right here. The best way to manifest love is to give love. If you loved what you heard today, subscribe to the Badass Manifester podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know how much you dig the energy here. All of my social is linked up in the show notes, so screenshot this episode, tag me on Instagram, and let me be part of your real-time journey. For more info on me, feel free to go to my website, manifestwithash.com. Repeat after me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. Go get them.